everyone. Tonight, I'm standing on my front porch, the air thick with the stench of betrayal, my heart pounding as red and blue police lights flash across the cul-de-sac. My neighbor's voice still echoes in my head. "You raising a criminal over there?" Her words slicing through the humid dusk like a knife. "I'm Celeste, and you probably wouldn't last a week living next to someone like this. So before you settle in, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe, but only if you actually want more raw stories like this. Drop a comment below. Where are you listening from? And have you ever had a nightmare neighbor? Now take a deep breath, because here's everything you never knew about the war. I survived on my own front lawn. It started 6 months ago when I moved into this quiet suburban street, hoping for peace after a messy divorce. My son, Ethan, was 10, still adjusting, and I was determined to give him a fresh start. The house was modest white siding, a small lawn, a creaky mailbox I hadn't fixed yet. The first week I noticed her Marlene, 2 houses down, her sharp eyes scanning the neighborhood like a hawk. She was in her late 40s, with a pinched mouth and a habit of clutching her coffee mug like it was a weapon. Her son Dylan was Ethan's age, but where Ethan was shy, Dylan strutted like he owned the block. The trouble began at the community barbecue. I was flipping burgers, sweat beading on my forehead, when Marlene marched over, her floral dress flapping. "Your boy," she said, pointing at Ethan, who was kicking a soccer ball with other kids. "He's got sticky fingers. Saw him near my purse earlier." The accusation hit me like a slap. Ethan a thief. I laughed it off, chalking it up to her being overprotective, but her eyes narrowed. "You'll see," she hissed. "You're raising a criminal over there." I shrugged, brushing it aside, but the words festered. Days later, I caught her whispering to another neighbor, gesturing toward my house. The rumors were spreading my son. The new kid was trouble. I confronted her on her driveway, the asphalt hot under my sandals. "Marlene, if you've got a problem, say it to my face." She smirked, sipping her coffee. "Oh, Celeste, I'm just looking out for the neighborhood." That's when I knew this wasn't a misunderstanding. This was war. The tension simmered for weeks. Marlene nitpicked everything: my unmowed lawn, Ethan's bike left on the sidewalk, even the way I parked my car. I tried to stay civil, waving politely, but her comments grew bolder. One evening, I overheard her on her porch, loud enough for me to hear, "People like her don't belong here." My blood boiled. I wanted to storm over, but Ethan was watching cartoons inside, and I didn't want him caught in the crossfire. Then came the HOA meeting. I wasn't planning to go, but Marlene's name was on the agenda, proposing neighborhood standards. I showed up, my palms sweaty, in a room of folding chairs and stale coffee. Marlene stood at the podium, her voice dripping with fake concern. "Some residents," she said, glancing at me, "aren't maintaining our community's values." She listed complaints: unruly kids, messy yards, all aimed at me without saying my name. The room murmured, heads turning. I couldn't stay quiet. I stood, my voice shaking but clear. "If we're talking values, let's talk about Marlene's son, Dylan. I saw him spray painting mailboxes last week. Should we discuss that?" The room went silent. Marlene's face turned red, her coffee mug trembling in her hand. "That's a lie," she snapped, but the neighbors shifted uncomfortably. I'd hit a nerve. Dylan wasn't the angel she claimed. As we left the meeting, Marlene cornered me in the parking lot, her breath hot with rage. "You'll regret that, Celeste." I met her glare, my heart racing. "Try me." That night, I lay awake, the crickets outside louder than ever, knowing I'd just lit a fuse. But there was no going back. Marlene had drawn first blood, and I was done playing nice. The climax came a week later. I was watering my garden when Ethan ran out, tears in his eyes. Mom, Dylan said I stole his game controller. I stormed to Marlene's house, banging on her door. She opened it, smirking. "Control your kid, Celeste," I snapped. "Your son's the liar, and you know it." The argument spilled onto her lawn, voices rising until a neighbor called the cops. Sirens wailed, and as the police arrived, I realized this was only the beginning. I'd exposed her at the HOA, but Marlene wasn't done. Neither was I. The police lights fade as the officers leave their warning to keep the peace ringing hollow in my ears. I'm back on my porch, the night air heavy with mosquito buzz and the faint scent of Marlene's jasmine bushes, which now feel like a taunt. My hands tremble as I grip the railing, replaying the lawn showdown. Ethan's asleep inside, oblivious to how Marlene's accusation calling him a thief in front of the neighbors has twisted my gut into knots. I'm Celeste, and this feud is no longer just words. It's a fire, and I'm ready to burn. The next morning, I wake to a notice taped to my mailbox, the HOA's logo glaring in bold print. It's a citation: my lawn's unkempt, my shrubs non-compliant. The fine's $200 unless I fix it by Friday. I know Marlene's behind this. She's on the HOA board, and her handwriting's all over the complaint. I march to her house, the paper crumpled in my fist, but she's not home. Her car's gone, and her blinds are shut tight. Coward. I shove the notice in my pocket, vowing to fight this on my terms. By noon, I'm mowing the lawn, sweat soaking my shirt, when Marlene pulls into her driveway. She steps out, sunglasses perched on her nose, and calls over, "About time you cleaned up, Celeste. This isn't a trailer park." My grip tightens on the mower's handle. I want to scream, but neighbors are watching, their curtains twitching. Instead, I force a smile and keep mowing the blades, chewing grass, as I plot my next move. That evening, I dig through the HOA bylaws, my kitchen table buried under papers and coffee mugs. Ethan's doing homework upstairs, his pencil scratching faintly. The bylaws are a maze, but I find a loophole. Citations need 2 board signatures, and this one only has Marlene's. It's a power grab, and I'm not letting it slide. I draft an appeal, my pen digging into the page, and email it to the OA president, copying every neighbor. Let's see how Marlene likes her dirty laundry aired. The response comes faster than I expect. The HOA calls an emergency meeting, and by Wednesday, I'm back in that stuffy room, the air thick with tension. Marlene's there, her lips pursed, flanked by her board allies. The president, a balding guy named Tom, reads my appeal aloud. Ms. Celeste claims this citation lacks proper authorization. Murmurs ripple through the crowd. Marlene stands, her voice icy. Her yard's an eyesore. We're enforcing standards. I fire back. Then why's your signature the only one, Marlene, that's against the rules? The room erupts in whispers. Tom clears his throat, admitting the citation's invalid. Marlene's face twists, but she recovers, tossing her hair. Fine, we'll reissue it properly. The meeting ends, but the neighbors' eyes linger on me, some with respect, others with suspicion. I've won this round, but Marlene's not done. She's a snake, and I've just stepped on her tail. Friday night, the tension explodes. I'm grilling burgers in my backyard, the smoky scent mixing with summer heat when I hear yelling from the street. It's Marlene screaming at another neighbor about parking. Her voice is shrill, unhinged, and I realize she's unraveling. Ethan peeks out the window, and I pull him back. Stay inside, buddy. But I can't resist. I step to my front yard, phone in hand, recording her meltdown. She's waving her arms, calling the neighbor trash, oblivious to me capturing every word. Then she sees me. Her eyes lock on mine, and she storms across the street, her flip-flops slapping the pavement. You think you're clever, Celeste? She snarls, inches from my face. My heart pounds, but I hold my ground, phone still recording. Back off, Marlene. The neighbors are out now, watching from their porches. She leans closer, her breath sour. You're nothing here. That's when I snap. At least I don't bully kids to feel big. Her jaw drops, and for a second I think she'll swing. Before she can, sirens wail again. Someone's called the cops, probably the same neighbor from last time. The police arrive, and Marlene spins a story about me harassing her. But my phone's got the truth, and I show the officer the video. His face hardens as he watches her tirade. Ma'am, he tells her go home, now. She stomps off humiliated, and I feel a rush of power. I've got evidence now, and she knows it. As the cop car pulls away, I stand in my driveway the night quiet except for crickets. Ethan's silhouette is in the window, and I wave to reassure him. But inside, I'm shaking. Marlene's not just toxic, she's dangerous. I've embarrassed her twice now, and she's not the type to forgive. The HOA stunt was her warning shot, but this public blowout has changed the game. I'm not backing down, but I'm starting to see the cost. My son's caught in this, and that's a line I won't let her cross. I'm in my backyard, the early morning sun barely cutting through the fog, when I smell it something rancid, like rotting meat. My stomach churns as I follow the stench to the fence line separating my property from Marlene's. There, smeared across my side of the wooden slats, is dog poop, still fresh, flies already buzzing. I gag my coffee mug, nearly slipping from my hand. This isn't an accident. Marlene's got a yappy terrier, and I've seen her let it roam without a leash. This is her latest move, and it's personal. I'm Celeste, and I'm done swallowing her poison. My hands shake as I grab a hose, spraying the mess off the fence, the water splattering my sneakers. Ethan's at school, thank God, because I don't want him seeing this. The stench lingers even after I scrub with dish soap, and my rage builds with every swipe. Marlene's been escalating, first the HOA citation, then the public screaming match that brought the cops. Now this. She's trying to break me to make me feel small in my own home, but she's about to learn I'm not the one who bends. I march to her house, the wet cuffs of my jeans slapping my ankles. She's on her porch, sipping that damn coffee, her terrier yipping at her feet. Marlene! I call, my voice sharp enough to cut glass. She looks up, feigning surprise. What now? Celeste. I point to my yard. Your dog's crap was all over my fence. You gonna pretend that's a coincidence? She smirks, setting her mug down. Maybe you should clean your side better. That's it. I'm not playing her game. I head home, my mind racing. Confronting her directly only fuels her ego. She thrives on the drama. I need something bigger, something that'll hit her where it hurts her perfect neighbor facade. By noon, I'm at my laptop drafting a post for the neighborhood Facebook group. I keep it factual, but brutal. Someone's been letting their dog defecate on my property. Found it smeared on my fence this morning. Anyone else having issues with unleashed pets? I attach a photo of the mess pre-cleanup, the brown streaks glaring against the wood. Then I hit post. The comments explode within hours. Neighbors chime in, some shocked, others admitting they've seen Marlene's terrier running loose. One woman, Karen, from across the street, writes, "That dog's been digging up my flowers too." Another neighbor, Mike, adds, "Saw it crap on my lawn last week. No one cleaned it up." I lean back, my heart pounding with grim satisfaction. Marlene's not just my problem, she's the neighborhood's, and now everyone knows. By evening, the post has 47 comments, and I hear her voice outside, shrill and defensive. I peek through my blinds. Marlene's on her lawn, arguing with Karen, who's waving her phone, probably showing her the post. Marlene's face is blotchy, her hands flailing. "It's not my dog," she yells, but Karen's not buying it. I don't step outside, I don't need to. The court of public opinion is doing my work for me. But Marlene doesn't slink away quietly. The next morning, I find a new citation on my doorstep, another HOA complaint this time about excessive noise from my backyard. It's nonsense, I haven't even used my grill since the cop incident. She's retaliating, using her bored influence to hit back. I crumple the paper, my jaw tight. She wants to play dirty fine. I'm ready to get filthy. I spend the day gathering ammo. I print screenshots of the Facebook comments highlighting every complaint about her dog. I dig up the HOA bylaws again, confirming this citation's as flimsy as the last, only her signature, no second board member. Then I call Karen, who's still fuming about her flowers. "You going to the next HOA meeting?" I ask. "She's in. And so's Mike. We're building a coalition, and Marlene's about to face a reckoning. The meeting's a week later, and the room's packed. Words spread about the dog drama. I sit in the back, my folder of evidence heavy in my lap. Marlene's at the front, her posture stiff, avoiding my eyes. When the floor opens for comments, I stand, my voice steady. I'd like to address the pattern of harassment from a certain board member. I hold up the screenshots, reading aloud the neighbors' complaints. This isn't about one fence. It's about someone abusing their power to target me. I slap the latest citation on the table. This is invalid, just like the last one. Karen stands next, then Mike, each piling on about Marlene's dog and her bullying. The room buzzes, and Marlene's allies shift uncomfortably. She tries to interrupt, her voice high-pitched. This is a personal attack, but the president, Tom, cuts her off. We'll review these complaints. It's not a win yet, but it's a crack in her armor. As I leave, Marlene's glare burns into me, but I meet it with a smile. I've turned her weapon public shame against her. That night, I'm on my porch, the air cooler now, when Ethan runs out. Mom, look. He points to Marlene's yard, where a new Leash Your Pet sign's been planted by the HOA. It's small, but it's a victory. I hug him, my chest lighter. We're okay, buddy. But as I glance at her house, her porch light flickers, and I know this isn't over. The dog poop was her crossing a line, and I've pushed back hard. The neighborhood's watching now, and Marlene's losing her grip. I've got momentum, but she's not done fighting, and neither am I. I'm in my living room, the glow of my laptop casting shadows on the walls as I scroll through the HOA's online records. The air smells faintly of the lemon cleaner I used to scrub the kitchen, trying to wash away the lingering disgust from Marlene's dog poop stunt. My fingers hover over the keyboard, heart racing, because I've just found something, a pattern of votes that don't add up. I'm Celeste, and tonight, I'm not just fighting Marlene. I'm taking on her whole corrupt HOA machine. After the last meeting where Karen and Mike backed me up, I knew Marlene wouldn't stop. She's got the HOA board in her pocket, and that fake noise citation was proof she's weaponizing her power. But I'm not the same woman who moved here swallowing her insults. I'm done playing defense. I start digging, spending hours cross-referencing meeting minutes and budget reports. Ethan's asleep upstairs, his soft snores filtering through the baby monitor I still use when I'm too paranoid to sleep. The deeper I go, the uglier it gets. Marlene's been pushing through fines and rules that only target certain neighbors, newcomers like me, or anyone who doesn't kiss her ring. But the real bombshell is the voting records. The HOA requires a majority for big decisions like fining someone or changing bylaws. Yet 3 times this year, motions passed with only 2 votes, Marlene's and her friend Susan's. The third board member, Tom, was absent each time, but the minutes claim he approved by proxy. It's a lie. I called Tom yesterday pretending to ask about the noise citation. He sounded confused. I never signed off on that. This is fraud, and it's my ticket to dismantling her. I print the records, my hands shaking with adrenaline, and draft an email to every HOA member. I'm careful, calm, professional, but I lay it all out. The invalid votes, the targeted fines, the abuse of power. I attach scanned copies of the minutes circled in red where the math doesn't add up. Before I hit send, I hesitate. This will blow up the neighborhood. Marlene's allies will come for me. But then I remember her smirk, the dog poop, her calling Ethan a criminal. I click send. The fallout's immediate. By morning, my inbox is flooded. Some neighbors are outraged, others skeptical. Karen texts me. You're a hero, but Mike warns, watch your back. Marlene's livid. I'm making coffee when I hear her voice outside yelling at someone on her phone. I peek through the blinds. She's pacing her driveway, her face twisted, gesturing wildly. Celeste's lying, she shouts. I smile grimly. She's rattled, and I'm just getting started. The HOA schedules a special meeting for Friday, and the tension in the neighborhood is electric. People whisper in driveways, casting glances at my house. Ethan notices, asking Mom, Why's everyone mad? I kneel, brushing his hair back. Some people don't like when you tell the truth, buddy. But we're okay. He nods, but his eyes are worried, and it guts me. This fight's for him as much as me. Friday night, the meeting rooms packed the air thick with sweat and cheap perfume. Marlene's at the front, her posture rigid, flanked by Susan. Tom's there too, looking uneasy. I sit near the back, my folder of evidence clutched tight. The president, a new guy named Greg, opens the floor. We've received serious allegations about board misconduct. Marlene stands, her voice syrupy. These are baseless attacks from a troublemaker who doesn't respect our community. She means me, and every eye turns my way. I stand, my legs steady despite my pounding heart. I have proof, I say, holding up the folder. I walk to the front, passing out copies of the voting records. 3 times motions passed without a proper majority. Marlene and Susan faked Tom's vote. Gasps ripple through the room. Tom's face goes red. I never gave a proxy, he admits, glaring at Marlene. Her mouth opens, but no words come out. Susan stammers. It was a misunderstanding, but the neighbors aren't buying it. The climax hits when Karen stands. This isn't just about votes. Marlene's been bullying people for years. Fines, complaints, lies. Mike joins in, then another neighbor, each airing grievances. Marlene's facade cracks. Her hands tremble as she grips the podium. Greg calls for a vote to suspend Marlene and Susan from the board pending an audit. It passes overwhelmingly. Marlene storms out, her heels clicking furiously, leaving a stunned silence. As I leave, neighbors pat my shoulder, whispering thanks, but I'm not celebrating yet. Marlene's wounded, not defeated, and I know she'll hit back. That night, I'm on my porch, the stars sharp overhead, when I hear her car peel out. Ethan's asleep safe, but my victory feels fragile. I've exposed her corruption, shifted the power in the neighborhood, but I've also made an enemy who's got nothing left to lose. The HOA's crumbling, and I'm the one holding the hammer. But Marlene's still out there, and I'm bracing for her next move. I'm in my kitchen, the fluorescent light buzzing faintly as I stare at a crumpled note Ethan brought home from school. It's from a teacher warning that my son was accused of stealing a classmate's phone. My chest tightens, the words blurring as I read Marlene's name scrawled at the bottom. She's the one who reported it, claiming Dylan saw Ethan take it. I'm Celeste, and this isn't just an accusation. It's a knife aimed at my son, and Marlene's the one twisting it. The note feels like a punch, bringing back her venomous words from the barbecue. You raising a criminal over there? I've been fighting her for months. Her dog poop, her HOA schemes, her public meltdowns. But this is different. She's targeting Ethan, my quiet kid who's already struggling to fit in at a new school. I tuck the note in my pocket, my hands shaking, and check on him. He's in his room, headphones on, oblivious to the storm brewing. I don't tell him yet. I need to know more. The next morning, I call the school, my voice calm, despite the rage simmering inside. The principal, Ms. Carter, explains that Dylan claimed Ethan took his phone during gym class. They found it in Ethan's backpack, but he swears he didn't touch it. We're investigating, Ms. Carter says, but Marlene's pushing for suspension. Of course she is. I hang up, my jaw tight, and grab my keys. I'm not letting her ruin my son's reputation. I head to the school, the air crisp with fall leaves crunching under my boots. In the principal's office, I sit across from Miss Carter, a tired woman with glasses perched on her nose. Ethan's not a thief, I say, my voice steady. This smells like a setup. She nods, but her hands are tied. Marlene's on the PTA, and her word carries weight. I leave frustrated, but a new plan's forming. If Marlene wants to play dirty, I'll dig deeper. That afternoon, I start asking around. I call Karen, who's got a daughter in Ethan's class. Ever hear anything about Dylan, I ask? She hesitates, then spills. He's been in trouble before, caught taking kids' stuff last year. Marlene hushed it up. My pulse quickens. This is leverage. I spend the evening online combing through social media and old PTA newsletters. Buried in a parent group chat, I find a thread about a problem kid stealing lunch money. No names, but the timing lines up with Dylan's grade. It's thin, but it's a start. I visit the school again, this time with the neighbor Lisa, whose son was a victim of last year's thefts. We meet Ms. Carter and Lisa doesn't hold back. Dylan's done this before, she says, her voice sharp. Why's no one looking at him? I add. Ethan's backpack was unzipped in the locker room. Anyone could have slipped that phone in. Ms. Carter's face tightens, but she promises to dig deeper. I leave my heart pounding with hope and dread. I've planted a seed, but Marlene's not stupid. She'll fight back. That night, I'm grilling chicken in the backyard, the smoky scent mixing with the chill air, when Marlene's car screeches into her driveway. She storms out, marching to my fence. "You're slandering my son," she yells, her face flushed. I set the tongs down, stepping closer. "Funny you're quick to call Ethan a thief, but Dylan's got a history." Her eyes widen just for a second before she recovers. "You're pathetic, Celeste. Keep my kid's name out of your mouth." She spins away, but I've rattled her. I know it. The climax comes at the next PTA meeting, a tense gathering in the school library. I wasn't planning to speak, but when Marlene stands, her voice dripping with fake concern about delinquent behavior, I can't stay quiet. I rise, my folder of research in hand. If we're talking delinquency, I say, let's discuss Dylan's record. Last year he was caught stealing from classmates. Why's that being ignored? The room gasps. Marlene's face goes white. That's a lie, she snaps. But Lisa backs me up, detailing her son's stolen money. The principal intervenes, promising a full investigation, but the damage is done. Parents whisper, casting glances at Marlene. She glares at me, her hands clenched, but she's losing her grip. As we leave, she hisses, "You'll pay for this." I meet her eyes. "Bring it." That night, I tuck Ethan in his face softer, now that I've told him I'm fighting for him. "I didn't do it, Mom," he whispers. "I know, buddy," I say, kissing his forehead. This fight's changed me. I'm not just defending my son, I'm exposing Marlene's lies piece by piece. The school's watching now, and her accusations crumbling. But she's cornered, and that makes her dangerous. I've pushed her to the edge, and I'm bracing for the blowback. Ethan's safety is my line in the sand, and I'll do whatever it takes to protect him. I'm in my car, parked outside the school, the engine ticking as it cools in the late afternoon heat. My hands grip the steering wheel, knuckles white, as I replay the call I just got from Miss Carter. The investigation cleared Ethan, but Dylan's been caught on camera slipping the phone into Ethan's backpack. Marlene's son is facing expulsion, and she's begging the school to reconsider. I'm Celeste, and this moment, knowing I've turned her own lie against her, feels like a blade I've sharpened for months. After the PTA meeting, where I exposed Dylan's history, I didn't stop digging. I knew Marlene would try to spin this, so I reached out to other parents collecting stories about Dylan's behavior. Stolen snacks, missing headphones, small things swept under the rug because of Marlene's influence. I compiled everything into a detailed email sent anonymously to the school board with dates, names, and Lisa's corroboration. I wasn't just defending Ethan anymore. I was dismantling Marlene's power, one truth at a time. The school's response was swift. They reviewed security footage from the locker room, and there it was, Dylan glancing around before stuffing his phone into Ethan's bag. Ms. Carter called me this morning, her voice heavy. Dylan's been suspended pending an expulsion hearing. Marlene's claiming it's a misunderstanding. I almost laughed. A misunderstanding? She's built her whole campaign against me on lies, and now her son's caught red-handed. I drive home, the air thick with the scent of cut grass from a neighbor's lawn. Ethan's at soccer practice, safe for now, but I'm dreading the moment I tell him about this. He's been through enough, Marlene's accusations, the whispers at school. I pull into my driveway, and there she is on my porch. her face blotchy with rage or tears, maybe both. Marlene's not the composed bully I've fought for months. She's unraveling her hair, messy, her coffee mug nowhere in sight. Celeste. She says, her voice low, almost pleading. You've got to stop this. Dylan didn't mean it. I step out of the car, my keys jangling in my hand. You mean the way he framed my son? Or the way you called Ethan a criminal? She flinches, but her eyes harden. I know you sent that email. You're ruining his life. I laugh sharp and bitter. You ruined your own Marlene. You picked this fight. She steps closer, her breath hitching. Please. He's a kid. He made a mistake. For a second, I see a mother desperate, not the monster who's tormented me. But then I remember the dog poop. The HOA finds her smirk as she tore into Ethan. I shake my head. You should have thought of that before you came for my son. I brush past her, unlocking my door. She grabs my arm and I whirl, my voice ice. Let go or I call the cops. Again. She drops her hand, stumbling back, and I slam the door behind me. Inside, my heart's pounding, but I feel a rush of power. I didn't just defend Ethan. I flipped the script. Marlene's begging me now, and it's because I played her game better. I check my phone texts from Karen and Lisa saying the neighborhood's buzzing about Dylan's suspension. Even Mike, who stayed neutral, writes, You did good. But I'm not celebrating. This victory's heavy. Ethan's name is clear, but Dylan's facing real consequences, and I know Marlene will blame me. The expulsion hearing's a week later, and I attend sitting in the back of the school boardroom, the air stale with old coffee and tension. Marlene's there, dressed in a crisp blazer, her voice steady as she pleads for leniency. Dylan's a good boy, she says, tears in her eyes. He was pressured. The board's unmoved. The evidence is damning. I speak briefly, keeping it simple. My son was falsely accused. I'm here to ensure justice. Ethan's name stays out of it, but my presence is enough. The board votes, Dylan's expelled. Marlene doesn't look at me as she leaves, her shoulders slumped. I should feel triumphant, but there's a knot in my chest. I wanted her to pay, but seeing her broken hits harder than I expected. That night, I'm on my porch, the stars faint above, when Ethan joins me. Is it over, Mom? He asks, his voice small. I pull him close. Almost buddy. But I'm lying. Marlene's not the type to quit even now. This fight's changed me. I'm not the nervous newcomer who shrugged off her insults. I've learned to hit back, to use truth as a weapon. Exposing Dylan shifted the power. She's losing her grip on the neighborhood, the school, everything. But I know her. She's down, but not out, and I'm bracing for her next move. I've protected Ethan, but at a cost, and I'm starting to see how deep this war's scars run. I'm jolted awake at 2 a.m., the crash of shattering glass echoing through my house. My heart slams against my ribs as I leap out of bed, bare feet hitting the cold hardwood. The air smells faintly of smoke, and through my bedroom window, I see flickering orange light in my front yard. I'm Celeste, and this isn't just another jab from Marlene. This is vandalism, and she's crossed a line I didn't think she'd dare. I grab my phone, dialing 911 as I rush to Ethan's room. He's curled under his blankets, stirring, but unharmed. Stay here, I whisper, my voice tight. Downstairs, I peek through the blinds. My mailbox is smashed splinters scattered across the lawn, and a small pile of burning newspapers smolders nearby. The flames are low, but the intent is clear. Someone wanted to scare me. I know it's Marlene. After Dylan's expulsion, she's desperate, lashing out like a cornered animal. The operator's voice crackles through my phone. Police are on the way, ma'am. Stay safe. I hang up my hands, trembling, and grab the fire extinguisher from the kitchen. Outside, The night air is sharp, the smoke stinging my eyes as I douse the flames. The newspapers are soaked in something acrid, lighter fluid, maybe. My destroyed mailbox lies in pieces, the metal bent like it was hit with a bat. I'm shaking, not from fear, but from fury. She's attacked my home, my sanctuary. Then I remember the security camera I installed after the dog poop incident. It's hidden in the porch light, motion activated, and I pray it caught something. I pull up the app on my phone, the screen glowing in the dark. There it is, grainy footage of a figure in a hoodie face obscured smashing the mailbox with a crowbar and tossing the flaming papers. The hoodie's familiar Dylan's, worn it before, the same red one I saw him in at the barbecue. It's not proof enough for court, but it's enough for me. The police arrive, their sirens cutting through the quiet street. Neighbors peer from their windows, some stepping onto their porches. The officer, a gruff man named Torres, takes my statement and examines the damage. "Any idea who did this?" he asks. I hesitate, then show him the footage. "I think it's my neighbor's son, Dylan. We've had issues." Torres nods, jotting notes. "We'll talk to them, but without a clear face, it's tough." I nod, knowing Marlene will deny everything. By morning, the neighborhood's buzzing. Karen stops by, her eyes wide as she surveys the wreckage. "This is insane, Celeste. You okay?" I nod, but I'm not. Ethan's shaken, asking why someone would do this. I hug him, promising we're safe, but the lie tastes bitter. I'm done waiting for Marlene to escalate. I upload the security footage to the neighborhood Facebook group, captioning it, "Last night my home was attacked. This is the suspect. Anyone recognize that hoodie? I don't name Dylan, but the implication's clear." The post goes viral within hours, shares comments, outrage. Mike texts me, "That's Dylan's hoodie. Saw him wear it last week." Lisa adds, "Marlene's losing it. She's yelling at people to take the post down." I'm at my kitchen table sipping coffee when I hear her voice outside, shrill and panicked. I peek out. She's on her lawn, arguing with a neighbor, pointing at my house. "She's framing us," she yells. But the tide's turning. Neighbors are done with her excuses. I rally Karen, Mike, and Lisa for an impromptu meeting at my place. We sit in my living room, the air heavy with resolve. "We need to confront her together," I say. "She can't intimidate us all." They agree, and we draft a letter to the HOA and police signed by 10 neighbors demanding action against Marlene's harassment. It's not just about my mailbox. It's the dog poop, the false accusations, the HOA corruption. She's a menace, and we're calling her out. The climax comes that evening. We march to Marlene's house, a small army of fed-up neighbors. She opens her door, her face, pale eyes darting between us. "What is this?" she snaps. I step forward, holding the letter. "This is us saying enough. We know Dylan trashed my property. We know you're behind it. Stop or we go to the cops with everything." Her mouth opens, but no words come. Karen adds, "We're done with your bullying." Mike nods, arms crossed. Marlene's bravado crumbles. She slams the door without a word. That night, I'm on my porch, the air cool, the stars sharp. Ethan's asleep, and for the first time in weeks, I feel a flicker of peace. The camera footage and our united front have shifted the power she's isolated, exposed. But I'm not naive. Marlene's quiet now, but she's a snake, and snakes strike when you least expect it. I've rallied the neighborhood, and that's my strength, but I'm bracing for her next move. This war's not over, but I'm ready to fight. I'm hunched over my laptop in the dim glow of my living room, the clock ticking past midnight as I scroll through the neighborhood Facebook group. My eyes burn, but I can't stop. Marlene's latest attack is a vicious post calling me a lying instigator who's tearing the community apart. Her words are a smear accusing me of faking the vandalism and framing Dylan to get revenge. I'm Celeste, and this isn't just a post. It's her desperate attempt to claw back control, and I'm about to turn it against her. The post has 23 comments already, some neighbors defending me, others buying her lies. My stomach twists as I read one from Susan, her HOA ally. Celeste's been trouble since she moved here. After the mailbox attack, I thought I'd rallied the neighborhood, but Marlene's not done. She's weaponizing social media to paint me as the villain. Ethan's asleep upstairs, his soft breathing a reminder of why I'm fighting. She's gone after my son, my home, and now my name. I'm not letting this slide. I take a deep breath, my fingers hovering over the keyboard. Confronting her directly won't work. She thrives on public drama. Instead, I start gathering evident screenshots of her post, Susan's comment, and the supportive messages from Karen, Mike, and Lisa. I pull up the security footage of the vandalism, the red hoodie clear as day, and my email exposing her HOA vote fraud. Then I craft my response, a single devastating post. Marlene's calling me a liar, I write. Here's the truth: her son's expulsion for theft, her invalid HOA fines, and her dog's mess on my fence. And this, I attach the vandalism clip. Recognize that hoodie I hit post my heart pounding and shut the laptop. The next morning, I wake to chaos. My phone's buzzing with notifications. My post has 112 likes, 47 shares, and a flood of comments. Karen texts, "You nailed her?" Mike says the group's on fire, with neighbors piling on about Marlene's lies. Even neutral folks like Tom from the HOA comment, "This needs to stop." I'm sipping coffee, the bitter taste grounding me when I hear her voice outside, shrill and unhinged, yelling at someone on her porch. I peek through the blinds. She's waving her phone red-faced as a neighbor walks away. By noon, the post's gone beyond the neighborhood. A local news blog picks it up, headlining it. Suburban feud explodes online. My inbox fills with messages, some from strangers supporting me, others from Marlene's allies calling me a bully. I'm rattled, but resolute. This is bigger than me now. It's about exposing a toxic manipulator. I call Karen and Lisa, and we agree to keep the pressure on. "She's losing it," Lisa says. Her own friends are ghosting her. Marlene doesn't back down, though. That afternoon, she posts again, doubling down. Celeste's obsessed with ruining my family. She's dangerous. She includes a blurry photo of me on my porch taken from her yard. My blood runs cold. She's stalking me now. I report the post to Facebook, but the damage is done. Neighbors are divided, and Ethan overhears kids at school whispering about the crazy lady fight. I hug him, promising it'll pass, but my voice shakes. This is personal, and she's dragging my son into it again. I'm done playing nice. I organize a meeting at Karen's house, inviting every neighbor who's fed up with Marlene. 12 show up, crowding her living room, the air thick with coffee and anger. We share stories, her dog's messes, her HOA, bullying, her lies about other kids. Mike suggests a petition to remove her from the PTA and HOA entirely. I draft it on the spot, my pen digging into the paper, and we all sign. It's not just about me anymore, it's a neighborhood uprising. The climax hits when I post the petition online, linking it to my original post with the vandalism footage. Marlene's been terrorizing this community for years, I write. Sign if you want change. Within hours, it has 63 signatures, nearly half the neighborhood. The news blog updates its story quoting my post, and the PTA president calls me saying they're reviewing Marlene's position. Marlene's next post is frantic, accusing us of a witch hunt, but it's drowned out by comments calling her out. She's hemorrhaging allies, and I feel a surge of power. That night I'm on my porch, the air cool, the street quiet. Ethan's drawing inside his laughter a small bomb. My phone pings a message from Lisa. Marlene's taking down her posts. I check, and it's true. Her smear campaign's gone, her profile silent. The neighborhood's turned on her, and my viral post was the tipping point. I've shifted the narrative, reclaimed my name, but I'm not naive. She's quiet now, but this is Marlene. Her silence is a warning. I've won this round, but I'm bracing for her final strike. I'm standing in my driveway, the late afternoon sun baking the asphalt, when Marlene's car screeches to a stop in front of my house. She storms out, her face twisted with fury, her usual coffee mug replaced by a pointed finger aimed at me. "You've gone too far, Celeste!" She screams, her voice echoing down the street.
I'm frozen, my garden hose dripping in my hand as neighbors peek from their windows. I'm Celeste, and this is it. Marlene's final stand, and I'm not backing down. The petition and my viral post have gutted her. Her PTA rolls under review, the HOA's auditing her votes, and the neighborhood's turned against her. She's lost her grip, and this confrontation is her last desperate swing. I drop the hose, my heart pounding, but my voice steady. Get off my property, Marlene. She steps closer, her eyes wild. You think you've won? You're nothing but a spiteful nobody. Her words sting, but I see her for what she is, cornered, powerless, lashing out. The fight's been building for months. Her dog poop, her HOA schemes, her lies about Ethan, the vandalism. I've fought back with evidence, neighbors, and truth, but this is raw, face to face. I notice her hands shaking, her blouse wrinkled. She's unraveling. You're the one who started this, I say, stepping toward her. You called my son a criminal, trashed my home, lied to everyone. Look where it's gotten you. Her jaw tightens, and for a second, I think she'll lunge. Neighbors are out now, Karen and Mike on their lawns, phones in hand. Marlene notices, her voice dropping to a hiss. You'll regret this, Celeste. I'll make sure of it. That's when I lose it. Regret? You framed my kid, destroyed my mailbox, and smeared me online. You're done, Marlene. Everyone sees you for what you are. My words hit like a slap, and she flinches, her bravado cracking. Karen calls out, Go home. Marlene, Mike adds, We're tired of your crap. The support fuels me, but I keep my eyes on her. She tries one last jab. Your son's no angel. I know what he is. It's a low blow, dragging Ethan into this again, and my vision narrows. I step closer, my voice low, lethal. Say one more word about my son, and I'll sue you for everything you've got. Try me. Her mouth opens, then closes, her eyes darting to the growing crowd. She's outnumbered, exposed, and she knows it. For the first time, I see fear in her face, not just anger, but real dread. The climax hits when a police car rolls up, lights off, but presence heavy. Someone, probably Karen, called them. Officer Torres from the vandalism night steps out. Problem here? He asks, eyeing Marlene. I speak first, calm but firm. She's trespassing and threatening me. Marlene stammers. I'm just talking. But Torres isn't buying it. Ma'am, I've seen the footage, the posts, the complaints. Go home, or we're taking a ride. Her face crumples, and she backs toward her car, muttering, This isn't over. But it is, as she peels out tires, squealing. The neighbors clap, actually clap. Karen hugs me. Mike nods approval, and even shy Lisa gives a thumbs up. I'm shaking, adrenaline fading, but I feel taller, stronger. I stood my ground, not just for me, but for Ethan, for every neighbor she's bullied. Torres lingers, taking my statement, and says, You've got a lot of support here. She's running out of moves. I nod, but my chest is tight. This victory's real, but it's cost me months of fear, sleepless nights, and Ethan's innocence. Back inside, I find Ethan in the living room, his eyes wide. Was that her mom? I kneel, pulling him close. Yeah, but she's not our problem anymore. He buries his face in my shoulder, and I realize how much he's carried. This fight's changed me. I'm not the woman who shrugged off her first insult. I've learned to stand, to fight, to win. Marlene came to my home to intimidate me, but I turned her attack into her defeat. The neighborhood's with me, the police are watching, and she's got nowhere left to run. That night, I'm on my porch, the air heavy with summer's end crickets chirping softly. The street's quiet, no flashing lights, no yelling. I check my phone, more signatures on the petition, a message from the PTA saying Marlene's been removed. My heart lifts, but I'm not naive. She's backed off, but her kind doesn't vanish quietly. I've won this battle, shifted the power for good, but I'm keeping my camera on my neighbors close. This war's taught me one thing: I'm stronger than I ever knew, and I'll protect what's mine no matter what. I'm in my front yard, the morning sun glinting off the dew-soaked grass as a moving truck rumbles into Marlene's driveway. Movers haul boxes and furniture, her car already packed with suitcases. She's leaving. Marlene, the woman who turned my life into a battlefield, is finally gone. I'm Celeste, and this moment, watching her defeat play out in broad daylight, feels like the end of a war I never wanted to fight. But I won, and the peace is mine to claim. The final confrontation in my driveway broke her. The petition, the PTA's decision, the neighborhood's rejection. It was too much. Word spread fast. Marlene put her house on the market days after Officer Torres sent her packing. Karen texted me last week she's selling. "You did this." I didn't reply, but I felt a weight lift. Months of her attacks, her lies about Ethan, the dog poop, the vandalism, the HOA corruption ended because I fought back, not just for me, but for everyone she'd bullied. I watch from my porch, sipping coffee, as Marlene directs the movers, her movements sharp, her face drawn. She avoids looking at my house, but I know she feels my presence. Ethan's at school spared this final scene, and I'm grateful. He's been through enough, her accusations, the whispers, the fear. Last night, he smiled for the first time in weeks, drawing a picture of our house with a rainbow over it. "We're okay now, right, Mom?" he asked. I nodded, my throat tight. "Yeah, buddy, we're okay. The neighborhood's changed." Karen and Mike stopped by later, their voices low but triumphant. "She's really going," Mike says, nodding at the truck. Karen grins. "Good riddance. We've grown close, a bond forged in this fight." Other neighbors wave as they pass, some offering quiet thanks. The petition we signed didn't just oust Marlene, it sparked an HOA overhaul. Tom's leading a new board promising transparency, and the Facebook groups full of plans for a community picnic. I'm not naive. Suburbia's never perfect, but it's healing. Marlene's last act comes at noon. She walks to my mailbox, a letter in her hand. My stomach twists, expecting one final jab, but I meet her at the curb, my posture steady. She doesn't look me in the eye, just hands me the envelope. "It's over, Celeste," she mutters, her voice flat. I open it after she walks away, a typed apology, stiff and formal, admitting she overstepped and wishing me well. It's not sincere, but it's a surrender. I tuck it away, a trophy of sorts, and watch her climb into her car. She drives off without a glance, the truck following, and the street falls silent. The climax isn't her leaving, it's what I do next. I gather Ethan's old soccer ball, scuffed from months of neglect, and kick it across the yard. He's home now, laughing as he chases it, his joy a stark contrast to the tension that's defined us. I join him, the grass cool under my feet, and for the first time, I feel free. No sirens, no glares, no threats. Just us, rebuilding what she tried to break. Neighbors pass by smiling, and I realize I'm not just surviving, I'm home. That night, I'm on my porch, the air crisp, stars piercing the dark. I check my phone. No new complaints, no HOA notices, just a message from Lisa inviting us to the picnic. I reply, "We'll be there," and set the phone down. The war's left scars, sleepless nights. Ethan's worried eyes, my own hardened edges. But it's also shown me my strength. I stood up to a bully, rallied a community, and protected my son. Marlene's gone, her influence erased, and I've reclaimed my peace. This victory's bittersweet. I didn't want to fight, but I had to. I think of her apology letter, her defeated slump, and feel a flicker of pity. She brought this on herself, but it's still a fall. Then I hear Ethan's laugh from inside, and the pity fades. I've changed through this, tougher, wiser, unafraid. The neighborhood's with me, the future's open, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. Marlene's gone, and I'm still standing.
I sit on my porch steps, the evening air soft against my skin, the quiet of the street wrapping around me like a long overdue embrace. The war with Marlene feels like a lifetime ago, though the scars linger tightness in my chest when I pass her empty house, the way Ethan still checks the locks at night. This fight cost me sleep trust and pieces of my peace, but it gave me something greater, the certainty that I can stand up no matter the odds. I'm Celeste, and I've learned I'm not just a survivor. I'm a force. Looking back, I see the toll months of rage, fear, and doubt, each battle with Marlene chipping away at my hope. But every time I stood my ground, I reclaimed a piece of myself. Exposing her lies, rallying neighbors, protecting Ethan, it wasn't just about winning, it was about dignity. I fought for my son's name, my home, my right to exist without bowing to a bully. And I won, not because I was louder or meaner, but because I was relentless. To anyone out there dealing with a toxic neighbor, a Marlene of your own, please believe me, you're not crazy and you're not alone. You don't have to fight like I did, but you can stand up in your way on your terms. Find your allies, hold your truth, and don't let their poison dim your light. I'm here on my porch with Ethan's laughter in the background, proof that you can come through the fire and still shine.